clear.
Great. Hi. Sorry, been trying to come on since. How's it going?
Hi, going well.
Very great. You can start, right?
Yes, we can. We're 6 minutes into the time. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Uh, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tolu. I work at Bloc, and I'd be sort of like a moderator today. If everyone can hear me, you could drop some emojis and say so in the comment section so that I know everyone is following me. Okay, great activities in the comment section. All right, so you're welcome to another block webinar. Today we're going to be talking about how you can leverage payments and accept payments online with Block. And to do that is going to be Wumi, very excellent at what she does, and she's going to be demoing um, how you can accept payments online with Block. All right, Wumi, over to you.
Thanks, Tolu, for the introduction. Hi, everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about the payment section of Block and pretty much showing you how it works, how to enable providers, the different features around our payment, and we would also test to see an actual live transaction. So I'll share my screen now, and then we would go into the demo. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now. Um, I'm sharing the Block dashboard. So if you already have a Block account, you should be familiar with this dashboard. So basically, you sign up and you complete your setup process. Um, and there are various aspects to Block. There are various segments, various products. But today we're going to be focusing on payment providers. Um, so, what are payment providers, or how does payment work on Block? Essentially, if you are say you're a small business and you have an e-commerce website, or you're a fintech app, or you just sell, you sell your product on Instagram or WhatsApp or one of these platforms, and you want to accept payment. The typical way would have been to, get a Paystack account and or a Flutterwave account or one of these payment providers or payment gateways, as we all know them, and sign up and then integrate their API into your product. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
What sucks?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, because I was hearing some noise. Okay, so as I was saying, the typical process, if you say had an e-commerce website and you were selling your product via an e-commerce website, would be to integrate a couple of payment providers, maybe Paystack, maybe Flutterwave, to accept payment from your customers. But this process can be it can take time, and you'd have to, if you're a small business, for instance, you probably have to hire a developer, that is skilled in integrating payments. But with Block, you don't have to manually integrate these payment providers into your products directly. You can actually come to Block and select what payment provider you want to use to accept payments, and that'll be all. You don't have to do any form of coding. You don't have to interact with the payment provider's API documentation or any of those long processes. So basically, Block has integrated a number of payment providers, across 5 different countries. And so when you have an account on Block, you literally have access to all these payment providers, and you can just select what provider you want to use by basically just clicking a couple of buttons. So we currently have 13 different payment providers on Bloc, and across 5 countries. So that's Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, the United States, and Egypt. So if you want to start accepting payments in the United States, for instance, you can actually come to Bloc and select a payment provider that works in that country in the United States and start accepting payments from your customers in the United States. So that's how it works. So I'll go ahead to enable a provider just so we can all see how the process works. So I'm going to select Paystack and click on Add Provider. Now, Paystack works in 3 different countries at the moment on Bloc. So that's Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa. You can select which of these countries you want to accept payments from. So this is not the country where you as a business is based. This is the country where your customer is. So this is the country where you want to accept payments from. So if you're a Nigerian business, but you want to accept payments from your customers in South Africa, at this point of enabling a payment provider, you select South Africa. If it's for customers in Nigeria or Ghana, you select whatever country your customers are in. So I'll select Nigeria, and then I'll select the payment method. So on Bloc, Paystack supports card, bank transfer, and USSD transactions. So you can actually select any or all of these payment methods. I'll select all. And the next step will be to add your Paystack account. Now, this is where we usually get lots of questions that what if I don't have a Paystack account, or do I have to open an account with all the payment providers I want to use? So there are 2 ways to go about this. You can choose to integrate or link your provider account if you have. And if you don't have, you can select this option that says, no, I don't. So what this does is that it links Bloc's Paystack accounts to your own dashboard. So you're accepting payments with Paystack, but with Bloc's Paystack account. But if you, for some reason, have a Paystack account, say you created one already, you can select yes, I do, and then put your API keys here. So you can get your API keys from your Paystack dashboard. But if you don't, and if you don't want to have to go through the process of creating a provider account, you can just select no, I don't. And automatically, our own Paystack account is linked to your dashboard, and we're accepting payments on your behalf with our Paystack account. If you were using your own Paystack account, the funds will be going to your Paystack, and Paystack will settle you. But if you are using Bloc's Paystack account, your funds comes to Bloc, and then we settle you. So essentially, we'll be an intermediary between you and the payment provider. So that's it for adding a provider. I'll click on Add Provider, and I have successfully enabled Paystack for card, USSD, and bank transfer transactions in Nigeria. So now my customers can pay me using Paystack in any of these 3 methods. I'll go ahead and add another provider, and that's just to show one interesting feature that we have. So I'll go to available providers. I'll select Flutterwave. I'll select the payment providers I want. I want all. And I will put in my API keys. Now, shared providers, which is the feature that allows you to use Bloc's payment provider account, is only available for a couple of providers at the moment. So it's not available for Paystack. That's why you can't see the option to choose yes or no. So in this case, if you really want to use Flutterwave, you have to put in your Flutterwave API keys. So I'm just going to put random keys here. And I will add provider. So I've enabled Flutterwave for bank transfer, card, and USSD payments in Nigeria. So now you notice that you can see a different provider status for Flutterwave So Flutterwave is a backup provider, while Paystack is a default provider. And this is because I enabled Paystack first and Flutterwave next. So this feature is what we call auto switching. And what it essentially does is that it ensures that you never have to lose a payment. So say for instance, you have Paystack enabled for bank transfer card and USSD. But for some reason, Paystack is having downtime, probably maintenance or something, and Paystack is unable to accept payments for you for, say, 5 hours. What that means is that your business is closed for 5 hours that day because, well, Paystack isn't available to accept payment for you. Now, to ensure that that never happens and you never actually lose out on, collecting money from your customers, we allow you set up backup payment providers. So whenever we notice that Paystack is having a downtime, we automatically switch your payment provider for your backup. So when customers get to your website or your app, or if you're using our payment links, instead of seeing Paystack, they will see Flutterwave because our system already detects that Paystack is having downtime. So that's why this is really a game changer for businesses. You can have multiple backup solutions, multiple backup providers, just to ensure that you actually never lose out on receiving payment. Um, so that's how it works for enabling payment providers. You can do this for as many providers as you want and for as many countries as you want. For now, shared providers isn't available for countries outside of Nigeria. We're working on that, but you can only use shared providers for Nigerian payment providers at the moment. And as I said earlier, we are available in 5 countries. We have 13 payment providers, but our goal is to have all the payment providers that you'd ever need on Block, such that whenever it comes to receiving payments, you never have to worry about integrating a payment provider. And if there's a new payment provider that launches in a country where you operate and you need that provider, you can really just send us an email or get in touch with us, and we'll work at including that payment provider to our stack. So that's basically all about provider. So now, how do you use this? How do you use this to accept payment from your customers? There are 3 ways you can use Block to accept payment. If you have, a developer team, it's an engineering team in your company, and you have, people that can, work with our APIs, you can choose to integrate our API or our checkout widget. But if you are, say, a small business and you don't have a website or an app, you don't want to have to do any of that integration or coding or any of that, we have something we call payment links that you can use to set up links basically to accept payments for your customers. Um, but for people that want to integrate our API or our checkout widget, the secret key is for integrating the API, while the public key is for integrating the checkout widget. And you can learn more about that in our API documentation. So our API documentation is linked below here. And when you click on it, it takes you to API docs. So now to show you how this works in real time, I'm going to test the payment. So I'll create a payment link. I'll put in a name, let's say webinar test. Essentially, this should be your product name, such that when you share with your customer, they know what they're paying for. I'll select my country. So the reason why I'm saying only Nigeria here is because I've only enabled Nigerian payment providers. If I enable a payment provider for the United States, I'll have the option to choose United States here. So it's basically the providers you've enabled that you find here. And also, this payment link should be shared. The country you're choosing here should be the country where your customer is paying you from. So if you want to share this payment link with someone in the United States, then you should choose the United States as the country here. So I'll select Nigeria. I'll put in my amount, And this is also optional. So in a case where you don't have an amount for this transaction, say it's a GoFundMe or a donation, and you want the payer to decide how much they want to pay, you can leave this open. But if it's for like a product, you should put a price. And then you can add a description: testing payments for webinar. And I'll print my payment link. So that's it. I have created my payment link. Next step will be to share this with my customer. I'll click on this and it opens a payment page. So if you are using our payment link, this is what you would see. You'll have your business name that you entered when you created your Bloc account and description for that payment. Make payments for your item here. So this is the name that you put in when you created your payment link. So if it's a dress or a painting, you should put that here. So I'll put in my name. So this is a live transaction. So I'm going to actually pay real money with my money. I'll put in my email address and I'll click on pay. So this shows the payment methods that you have enabled. So it doesn't show Paystack or Flutterwave or Mono. So your customer isn't choosing whether to pay with Paystack or Flutterwave. What they are choosing is whether to pay with card or bank transfer or crypto or USSD or direct debit or wallet. So it's the payment methods that will show up here. And then the customer can decide, you know what, I want to pay with my card or I want to pay with bank transfer. And they select pay with card. Now it is your default payment provider that shows up here. So if you selected Paystack as your default, you'd see Paystack here. If you selected Flutterwave or Mono or Stripe as your default provider, you see those providers here. So I'm going to put in my card details and make an actual payment. Okay, 302 4020 36. Oh, I shouldn't be showing you my card details actually, but it's fine. Okay. Right. Okay. So a little issue. I don't have my phone with me, so we will not be able to complete this payment because I don't have my phone that has the OTP. But essentially, when you get the OTP, you put in here and authorize the payment. Okay, so I think what we'll do is do a test payment since I can't complete this with my details at the moment. So we'll do a test payment instead. I'll switch to test mode. Payment providers. Okay, so I'll just repeat this process with Paystack and complete the payments. No, I don't. Add provider. Right. So let's try that again. Okay. So put in my name, email address, and the amount. 800 naira. Okay, so this is a test payment, so I don't need actual details. But essentially, this is how it will work. Your customer will put in their card details and then pay. And as a business, when you come to your dashboard and you go to transactions, you see a record of that payment that was just made. Okay, so this is the payment that was just made, 100 Naira by Wunmi. The source was checkout, payment method was card, and this is the date and time. So for every transaction that is made using any of these payment methods, you actually get a record here. You also get an email alerting you that you've gotten a payment from a customer. And you can view more details about this transaction by clicking here. So you can see a reference, you can see the name of the customer and every other details. And then when you come to your customers tab, you can also see a record of each customer that's paid you. So this is this customer. You can view more customer details as well. So you can see how many transactions this customer has made with your business, how many times they've paid you. You can see whether it's a credit or a debit transaction. And all of that details is available here. So basically, that is how payment works. It's quite easy and seamless. If you're a small business, you literally do not have to code. All you need to do is just generate a payment link, share with your customer. They pay you. You come to your Bloc dashboard, and you can see all the amounts that you've received. You can see all the transactions, and you can see the total amount you've received on your dashboard, both in inflows and outflows. So yes, that is all. If there are any questions, you can ask now. Um, thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much, Wumi. So, if your questions, you could ask questions using the questions tab.
Okay. Okay. So let me start from.
Okay, Wumi, there's a question. You're viewing it?
Yes, I think I should
Okay,
stop
cool.
my screen at this point so that this does. Okay, so Zircon says, can I say I want to receive payments from all the countries pay staff sales? So yes. However, so it can only be countries that Bloc currently supports. So Bloc is live in 3 countries for Paystack. So that's Nigeria, Ghana, and South Africa. So you can receive payments from these 3 countries alone when you're using Bloc. Um, okay, this question is about bills payment. Okay. So Ugana asked, so if a customer selects card payment, would the default option show up according to their location? So yes, but remember that you are sharing payment link according to location. So if your customer is in the United States, you should share a United States payment link. So a payment link can only have one location. It can't have multiple locations. I hope that answers your question. So if you're sharing a payment link with someone in the United States, yes, it should be a United States payment link, and it will show Paystack or PayPal or Coinbase for those locations. So yes, confidence. You have to generate a payment link for every transaction at the moment if you're using payment link. But if you have a website, for instance, you can embed our checkout widget, and you will never have to generate a payment link. But this is a question that we've gotten quite a number of times. So we're working on something that might be able to serve businesses like yours that probably have a number of products, and you don't want to have to generate a payment link for each product. So yes, we would probably have something that addresses that need. But at the moment, with the payment links that we have on Block, you have to generate a payment link for every transaction. Okay, so Isian asked, please, how do we know how many countries payments are received in? And is there a way to get update on additions as additions are made to the country supported? Yes. So yes, definitely. When we add more countries, you'd be able would let you know. And then on the dashboard, you can actually see the countries that are available. There we have 5 countries at the moment. So we have Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Egypt, and the United States. But yes, when we do have more countries, you'll be notified. Okay, so Tolu asked, can I integrate Block on our checkout e-commerce page? Yes, you can. We have a checkout widget that you can embed on your e-commerce page. Yes, so yes, you can. Uh, demo questions. Okay, that's all the questions we've gotten so far. Okay. Charles is asking, how can I use Block services to get donations from our NGO's website? So same way you'd use it for a business, simply integrate our API or our checkout widget, and then customers or your the people donating can really just choose what method they would like to donate to your NGO. Is there any plan in the future for a plugin that works with WordPress? Yes, there is. It's in the works, it's on our roadmap. We would have plugins available soon. Uh, okay, Charles, we have. So when I shared, let me go back. So you probably have to work with a developer to embed our widget. So we have a widget that you can embed. And when I shared our payment links, that was it was the widget that you saw when it was time to make payment. So I'm going to share my screen again. Um, so when I clicked on payment links, so this is the payment page. And this is the checkout widget. So you have to work with a developer. We have we have our API documentation that shows you how to implement this. So you're essentially just carrying this and putting it on your website. And when people who want to donate to your NGO click on pay, this is what they see. So then they can click on the payment method they want to use to pay, and then they make their payment. That's it. So you don't have to use the API. You can just embed this screen that you're seeing. You can just embed it on your website, and then when people click on pay, this is what they see, and they just go ahead to pay. I hope that answers your question, Charles. Confidence is asking, essentially, businesses without an e-commerce site cannot make use of the embedded widget. Yes. If so, how do the benefits of Block outweigh just sending accounts my account details for a transfer? Well, as I said, you can choose to go. You can choose to send your account details. But if you're looking to have more options for your customers, and if you're looking um, to just digitize the entire process of collecting money, because there are different ways to get payments. You can use cards, you can use USSD, there's bank transfer, there's crypto, there's direct debit. There are all these options. So if you want to have these options available for your customers, then you should use Block. But yes, I understand that you might not want to create payment links for if you sell multiple products, if you have lots of products that you sell. um, you might not want to use payment links because it might be a bit overwhelming to create payment links for 100 different products. But if you have just a few products, then it might make sense to just create the links and have them somewhere and just copy and paste and send to them, because, for instance, what if there's an issue with transfer and your customer is unable to do transfer? Then you have to wait or lose that customer. Whereas there are other ways that they could have paid you. They could have paid you with their cards. They could have used USSD. They could have done a direct debit. There are different other ways. They could have paid with crypto. So that's the benefit, really, just having options and giving your customers options to pay you. um, so yes, but we are working on a solution that solves the problem of creating 100 payment links, and when that is available, we'll definitely let you know. I hope that answers your questions. Abiodun Oni is asking if you get a recording of this session. Tolu, is he going to get a recording of the session, or is she going to get a recording?
Yeah, he's going to get a recording of the session.
Okay, great. Fantastic. So if you have a Block account and if your account is all set up, you can actually play around with these things. There's a test environment, so you can do test transactions to see how this works. But it's pretty straightforward. It's easy. You can test without having to code, and you can actually test live transactions using our payment links without having to code. So you can always take it for a spin and see if this serves your needs. No confidence. So payment links is for each payment that you want to receive. It's not for each customer. Yes, if you have 5 products, then you only need to create 5 payment links, correct? And then you can send to any customers. Yes. So payment link is not specific to customers, it's specific to products, that you want to collect payments for. Yes. Uh, okay, so something that I did not say when I was presenting about our auto switching feature is that it can actually be done manually too. So if you have paystack enabled, let's enable Flutterwave. Okay. So we have Flutterwave enabled as a backup. So this was done automatically according to the sequence in which you enable the provider. But if you want to do this manually, you can actually come here and say, you know what, I want Flutterwave to be my default provider for bank transfer, and you can do that manually. So you can see that Flutterwave is now default and Paystack is now backup. So this can be done manually by yourself, and it can also be done for you automatically. So whenever a customer gets to your website or your payment link, they would see Flutterwave as default for bank transfer and not Paystack. Paystack will remain your default for card and USSD, but because you've made this switch, Flutterwave will become your default. Um, and if you are using our shared provider, that means you're not using your own Paystack or your own Flutterwave account. You're using Bloc's provider account, we receive the funds for you, and you see the balance in you see how much you've gotten in your settlement balance. So each time you receive funds, this is where we send it to. And then after a day or two, we send these funds to your bank account. But if you're using your own provider account, that means your money isn't coming to us, it's going to your provider. So Paystack settles you. If you're using shared providers, we settle you. So each time you're paid by a customer, this amount increases. And after a day, you get the payments in your bank account. You can provide us with the bank account you like your funds sent to, by putting your settlement account here. So you can click on manage bank account, and you can add your bank account here. So you can select the currency, you can select the bank name, you can put your account number, and then we send your payments to whatever account you specified here. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so Confidence is asking, what are the charges from Bloc to serve as this payment intermediary? That's a good question. Our pricing is going to be published very soon, and once it is, we will let you know. But we charge you a small fee, very small, for each transaction that you process. I don't have the figure right now, but very soon you'll be able to see what our pricing is, on the website and on your dashboard. Okay, I can see more questions on the chat. Yes, Maiwa app API is available. Okay, Tolu, I think it's over to you now. Thank you. Tolu, are you there?
Yeah, sure. I'm here. So thank you, everyone. If you have any more questions, you could send them to our email at help@blockhq.io. If you just check the chats window or chat section, you'd see the email there. We'll try to answer each question you send in as detailed as possible. And yeah, and like Wumi said, or rather, we've as regards pricing, you could see it in the chat window also. We currently charge a flat fee of 14 naira per transaction, plus the provider processing fee. But a document will be up that explains this more explicitly. But for today, that would be all. Let's have a nice day. Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.